What's up, everybody? It's Anderson. Often people come up to me in the street and they say, Anderson, I'm familiar with your world-famous YouTube content, but, I don't really know exactly what's in your sim rig, so I thought I'd take a minute to just tell everybody what I got. I really am proud of my rig. I think it's finally reached its final form, and what I have in general here is it's a cockpit. It's a Omega GT Art with an XL RS seat. I don't know what that means. It's just the thing that I ordered. I like it. It's very rigid. It's firm. I don't feel like it moves around a lot. I have these little reinforcement bars that I also got from GT Omega and attached right to the outside. It removed the only tiny little bit of flex that there was. It's pretty great. Overall I really like it. It works well. So I also have the Fanatec CSL DD GT Pro, which is the PlayStation compatible 8 Nm Fanatec offering. I also have the McLaren GT3 rim on here. And some kind of a generic round wheel, which, let's see, right here. Yeah, which is fine. I like this too. They have the metal QR quick releases on them, which is a little bit more firm than the plastic ones they came with, so I like that better. Let's see, all of this is ringed by these 3 Acer 27-inch, I don't know exactly what the model number is, but they're 1440 and 170 hertz, so nice high frame rate, actually much higher than the computer that powers them can actually output, so hoping to maybe upgrade that at some point. So these monitors are mounted on a SimLab Vario VESA triple mount freestanding. So there's like a attached rig model that SimLab makes for this, and then there's also a freestanding one. I got the freestanding one because it just felt like there would be a little bit more flexibility with the ability to have it separated from everything, maybe bring the screens a little closer. It's made a really sturdy aluminum profile, the way that the other rigs are, it seems it's awesome. Like basically I was doing dips on the thing, not that I'm the world's giantest guy, but it's very sturdy, awesome, holds the monitors, and makes it really, really easy to adjust. I can't explain what the magic is in the VESA mounts, but I have previously had, other triple monitor mounts, and it was just very hard to adjust and align them. Actually, you know what? I'll overcut a bunch of footage right here showing what my old monitor mount was. It was like an Amazon triple armed mount monitor stand that was mounted to this wooden frame that I made. Then I carbon fiber wrapped that entire frame. It looked like it would work really well, but it was very hard to get everything perfectly aligned and then keep it that way. So ultimately, I did decide to upgrade to the frame, like the full metal frame stand, which was a good choice. I'm really glad I did. So let's see, what else? I have a Moza shifter and handbrake, which I'm gonna attach to the rig, I guess, because this is where my leg is. But it normally goes here. It's on this little rigged up. I kind of drilled out a metal stand and created a little leg. It's a little bit iffy, but it works pretty well. Those are only compatible with the PC, which is a downer. So when I'm playing Gran Turismo on the PlayStation, unfortunately I can only use the wheel. I can't use the H pattern shifter or the handbrake. So a little bit of a limitation, but what can you do? So that's like the main guts of it. But what I think one of the really cool things about this hobby is that you can start to customize all of this stuff, and you can kind of tweak and do all kinds of stuff. So overall I got the PC and a PlayStation 5 are the two things that I play most of it on. They're all hooked into a smart surge protector, and what that does is essentially whichever system is on, powers on the center monitor, which then tells all of the other stuff to turn on or off. So if I'm not using the wheel, it automatically powers itself down, because if the monitor gets turned off or if the system gets turned off, it just shuts everything down. It's very convenient. It also stops me from having to switch inputs on the center monitor, because with HDMI ARC, I think is what it's called, basically the device will issue a command to either power on or power off whatever the screen is, so it'll receive that input on that input and auto select it as the active input. So from a nerdy standpoint, it's just very convenient to not have to reach back there and hit all the stupid buttons and make it all work. 3D printed pedal faces. Oh, I didn't talk about the pedals either, but these pedals are Fanatec CSL LC pedals, so they're Fanatec's entry-level load cell pedals. They work really well. I'm really enjoying them. I haven't really had any need to do very much to them, but on the cool front, we have these 3D printed pedal faces. So these are, I used my 3D printer to print these faces and attach them. And then also back here there are some 3D printed springs and mounts to basically, there's an RC car damper on here to make the pedal feel a little bit more lively, and then one of the elastomers in here was replaced by a spring to make the brake pedal a little bit looser, have a little bit more travel on the load cell, which feels a little bit nicer and more organic. So I like that. We have a 3D printed dashboard here behind the wheel. Get a better shot of that. I also carbon fiber wrapped this, which is a big pain in the butt, and you can see that I didn't do a very good job of it and it's all falling apart, but I am too lazy to actually fix it, so maybe one day. What else? We got bass shakers underneath the seat and the pedal plate. There are bass shakers that are then wired into a USB sound card that goes into the computer and is powered by a piece of software called SimHub to take telemetry output from the games and translate them into vibrations underneath the pedal and the seat. It's really awesome. I need to put a little bit more time into customizing it more, but it's cool to like shift gears and feel it, or start to like lose traction on the pedals and kind of feel it. It's it's not just like a rumble pack on it or a vibration on a controller. It's more like haptic feedback a little bit. It's very neat. So that software SimHub also powers little tablets that are around. I don't have any footage of this because currently the stand is over there and I don't have it attached to the rig, but basically there's an Amazon Fire that sits here, or Kindle, or whatever the heck it's called, and you go to a website that is served up by the PC and SimHub, and that website is basically just a dashboard. So you have a little live screen dashboard that's really neat. You can have it display different timings or pedal inputs or temperatures, tire temperatures, that kind of stuff. Neat little feature to be able to do. A wind simulator over here. You know what? I'm going to just reach over because it's not attached, but good thing I prepared for this. Alright, so these are giant fans that I ordered from Amazon, and then 3D printed fan reducers, and then cold air intake tubes, and then I think this just came with the tube. These mount to the sides here, and then there's an Arduino that sits inside of another case that I 3D printed. I'll get footage of that. But the Arduino plugs into the computer. SimHub tells the Arduino how fast to spin the fans, and the fans spin faster or slower depending on how fast you're driving. Not the most realistic thing unless you drive with your vents open constantly, but it does really kind of add a little bit of immersion to it. It's nice. Maybe a little bit more effort than it was worth, but I'm a nerd, so it was fun to do. Let's see, button box to keyboard emulator. So I had a bunch of button box stuff in this dashboard. I drilled holes. They were kind of lame. I had to 3D print half of it again. So I haven't gotten back to messing with that yet, but that's one of the next projects is, power on, power off buttons or switches that'll flip. They plug into a keyboard emulator that plugs into a PC via USB, and so the computer basically reads what you do as keyboard strokes and does the command. So you flip a switch, and the keyboard thinks you hit J and does whatever in the game J is mapped to start the engine or whatever. But yeah, overall, really happy with where this is at. It's been a whole lot of experimentation. I've had single screens, I've had triple screens, I've had triple TVs. I've got VR, I've basically run the nerd gamut, and I think I finally arrived at the final destination. I think that this is probably all the rig that I would ever need. What's that? Who's interrupting my very important video recording? This is very good. Huh. What's this? What the heck?